Morning, YouTube. Hey, welcome back to Shots Life. This week on the $10 boat. Yes, we're going to work on the $10 boat. I know people have been after me about it. So we're going to work on this today. We're going to be doing some fiberglassing, trying to get those outsides of those two stringers we put in, and maybe even a coat of fiberglass on the inside, and then we'll go from there. All right, stick with me. It's the $10 boat. Welcome to my life. All right, so welcome back. Hey, I appreciate you guys watching. I know that a lot of people want to see the $10 boat and want me to finish it up and get it done, and I do too. But I've been busy. My parents have both been in the hospital. My sister's taking care of my mom, and I'm taking care of my dad. My dad's actually living with me right now while he had his a knee replacement, and so anyway, we're working through all that. We're also selling their house and cleaning their house up, and we have people looking at their house and whatever. And then we're trying to find them a new house, one story, so everything they need is on the first floor. So anyway, that's where we're at with that. So it's been taking up a lot of time, and of course, I do all my little side stuff too, taking care of the neighbors and whatever else. So I've been working on that as well. So that's my list of excuses. Oh yeah, and then there's that. And then, of course, I have the rear end of the truck off right now. Anyway, that's all different stuff. So anyway, we're going to get on this boat. We're going to get those two outside stringers glassed in, hopefully. And I got a little sanding to do in there because I was a little sloppy with my thickened resin in there. So I'll sand that out, get it nice and smooth. There's two places, I think. And then we'll fiberglass those in, tab them in for the first time, and then we'll go to the centers and tab those out for the or glass them. And that'll be the second coat. I do 3 coats on everything. I don't know what you're supposed to do. That's what I do. So let's get busy. Get going. All right, to give you an update on what's going on with the last job we did, it came out beautiful. I mean, absolutely beautiful. So it just drives me insane. I'm not gonna lie to you. How is it that I'm the same guy with the same jug of resin? I mean, it's the same one on both sides. We're still about halfway done with that red bucket. Same cloth off the same roll, same everything, same guy installing it. This side is just absolutely gorgeous. Came out wonderful. And then I did the same thing on that side, and it didn't. It had got some air pockets in some of it. I don't understand. I mean, it is everything is the same. The only difference would be temperature that day. So I don't know. It just drives me crazy. But this one came out absolutely beautiful, just like we wanted it to come out. So this one's done. So what we're doing today is we need to do some sanding, so make sure that knock that. I think that's just foam up there. I need to knock that off. On this one, there is a little thickened resin on a little rough on here. So because I didn't put that tabbing right on, which I probably should have. So I'm going to come back and sand that down real quick, just make it nice, and then we'll tab this side. We'll thicken resin and then tab that side. Actually, I'm going to thicken resin this side too. I'll put a nice thin coat on top so I can form it. And then we'll thicken resin this side, and we'll get the tabbing done on that side. And then I'll see how I feel. If everything's going good, then I'll go ahead and put 2 pieces of fiberglass in here on the inside of this. But if we get tabbing done today, I guess I'll be happy with that. So we'll see. So let me get the vacuum cleaner hooked up and to the sander, and then get in here and get some sanding done just to get it nice and flat. And then we'll go from there. All right, let's get busy. right, so that worked pretty good. I don't know what the camera work's gonna look like. Again, when you get in that small space, it's hard to, your hands are covered in stuff. I don't want to touch the cameras. I took those safety lenses off because you couldn't see anything. But anyway, I just kind of sculpted that thickened resin in all the way down on both sides. This side we had already done. I just put a thin coat on top so that I could smash it down in there. And that way the fiberglass could roll nice and neat and not try to get those jaggedy edges that I left behind. So I got it all smoothed in, filled in the holes pretty good. So we'll get to making up some regular resin and put our tabbing on the outside of this. And then we'll see how it goes. I'll look at cutting some fiberglass sheets to go in there. And then I'll do that in 2 sections. I'm going to fiberglass it to this edge down and then down this way. A lot of people have asked me about this edge here and how I tapered it back. Yeah, that was dumb. I just made it like they had it. I tend to follow the manufacturer. I don't know what I'm doing. So I'm just tending to follow the way the manufacturer had it before. And that's the way they had it before. I don't know. Don't ask me. Of course, remember that these were not coated before either. They were just cut and stuck in there. Which is also weird. So yeah, maybe it was some kind of so it could move or something. I'm not sure. So anyway, we got this side thickened resin. Well, we got both sides thickened resin. So we got our tabbing cut. So I'm going to mask back up real quick and make up some more resin, and then we'll get that tabbing on those 2 sides. Again, sorry about the camera work. It is what it is. All right, get busy. All right, so far I think this is going okay. We got both sides in. Really a lot of resin on this one. I just want to see if I really put the resin on thick, which is what I think I did here, does it make that much difference? Maybe I'm putting the resin on too thin. So I'm going to try that. It looks really good from what I can see. I see a couple little spots, but just about everything came out just nice. So now I'm going to go in and do the 2 fronts on this fiberglass. I'll measure those out, and then I'll try to do a piece here and a piece there. I'll get those 2 back ones done first, work my mess on the way out. So let's get those measured and cut, and we'll try to get that in. And I think that'll be a pretty successful day, to be honest with you. Man, this is an aerobic workout. With the mask, I'm trying to hold my body up. And of course, my wife said, "Don't wear that shirt, you're ruining it." And I was like, nah. Yeah, she's right. I toasted another shirt. This is one that somebody made for me, so I'll have to apologize to them. I'll need another one. So I'll buy some more shirts. Anyway, the other ones are just getting so bad. When I put them on, I start itching when I put the shirts on, so I'm just not going to wear them anymore. Just throw them away. So anyway, let me get those measured out. Let me get some new gloves on. We'll get those put in, and then we'll come back here and we'll do these 2. And yeah, we'll go from there. So let me get busy. Woo!
All right, so there's our pieces ready to go. So thankful for these, Nathan. Man, they make a big difference. So we'll go get these fronts put in, and then we'll put the backs in. Woo! I'm getting worked out today, boy. It's like going to the gym. Woo! All right, put those where they belong so they don't get dirty. And get these 4 pieces of fiberglass. Get the front 2 rolled in. Get the back 2 rolled in. Go take a shower. Woo! All right, so that was crazy. This side is just giving me fits. It's continuing to give me fits. Now, a lot of that is the air is underneath the piece underneath it, right? So nothing I can do about that at this point. But boy, I sure fought it. This side seems to be coming out really nice back here. That's great. That's all coming out decent there. Rolling it, just rolling it to get the air out of it. It's looking really, oh, I got a bubble right there I got to get. Daggone it, that's a long way in. It's right on the edge too. I guess I need to go get it. But yeah, let me do that real quick. Son of a gun. Oh man. Ah, not good. Ah, not good. Ah. Get out of there. Good job. And I can do this for days probably. All right, let's get out of here. All right, we got that bubble now and it looks really good in there. I tried a different approach, you know, really thick on the resin this time, not being stingy at all, and we'll see if that makes a difference. I think it might. I think that might be I just get, when I do something bad, I put way more on there, I think maybe. I don't know. On this one, I still see a little air, but remember, it's the sheet underneath it, so it's the way it is. I'm not going to do about it. But this side looks really good. This side looks really good, and that side looks really good. Man, I had to work it to get the air out of them, but I think we did good. So yeah, I can't wait to get out of this hole. It's getting smaller and smaller on me. You know, even this, I'm laying in wet stuff to do it, you know, just trying to reach and everything. But we got it in there, and that's good. So that's a whole second coat on the inside, and the first tab's on the outside. So we're cruising right along. If I get the second tab up there maybe later this week on the outsides, and maybe even get the third tab in on the inside, man, we'll be smoking right along. And then just gotta get those 2 layers on the outside, 1 more layer on the inside, and then I get this wall going, and we can start thickening resin in that sucker in, and we'll tab the backside of that board, and then we'll be cruising. I mean, we will be cruising. If I get out of this hole, man, that'll be great. That'll be great. The last thing I'm gonna do real quick is I'm gonna use up this foam. There's like just a little bit in there, but I'm just gonna get rid of it. Pour it in that side chamber. It won't make much.
but it'll get it out of those bottles, and I can throw those bottles away. Matter of fact, I'm throwing these tubs away. I didn't even think about mixing foam in them. Yeah, so I'll clean these out, throw all this trash away, clean up my trash, and then I'll mix up that foam for whatever it's worth in one of these old buckets I'm gonna throw away. And we'll pour it in that far chamber just so I can get rid of them. I'm gonna have to order some more foam for each side and there. Well, 1 chamber, 2 chambers, 3 chambers. So yeah, so that's a lot of foam. So we'll see what I end up doing, but in the meantime, I need to get rid of those. So I'll mix that up in that bucket after I clean up, and we'll pour it in that side thing. So let me do that real quick. Let me clean up, get rid of all this trash, air this building out a little bit, and then I'll get up in here and dump that foam. Alright, so that worked out pretty well. It gets rid of those 2 bottles. Just still Rice Krispie and Snap Crackle popping back here. This is pretty interesting, the way that stuff heats up and does that. But it gets rid of those 2 bottles. Everything's looking really good. We're gonna let that dry. I think we made good progress this week. So I'm gonna call it good there. I do want to show you something though. They are working on our dam this year. It's called the Dix River Dam, I think, but it's Harrington Lake if you want to look it up. And the water level is getting so low because they keep dropping it to work further down on the dam. There's a lot of complaints about that, but I think it's a good thing. I mean, we wouldn't have a lake if it wasn't for this dam. So, and you got to fix that stuff, you know. So yeah, I think it's the Tennessee Valley Authority or Kentucky. I'm not sure really like who owns it. But yeah, they're working on the dam this year. So there's a couple places that are really low. One of those places is our public boat, or not public, but our private boat dock for our neighborhood. It's over there, and there's only a trickle going through there, so I'll show you that. There's some water behind my house, but not a lot. I'll show you that too, so you can see all the trees that are down in there. And then I'll try to shoot around the different parts of the lake, and I'll talk about them. So yeah, check this out. So this is the Chenault Bridge. It's down the road from my house. It was built in 1924 and it was rehabilitated in 1961, but they just recently closed it. Well, probably 2 years ago they closed it. And it's a beautiful bridge, you know, big, beautiful span bridge. Yeah, I don't think the county or the two towns, Danville or Lancaster, have the money to put into it to rehab it, or somebody's talked about making it a walking bridge or whatever, but at this point it's just a closed bridge. Of course, people do walk across it. Over here on the right, you see that houseboat. That's actually a good houseboat. Up on the right, further up on the hill there, see it? Whoop. Anyway, that houseboat has actually sunk, and he actually pulled it up on the bank there. Since the water's so low, he got it out of the water, so that's good. Getting the junk out while we can. The silt is actually built up 26 feet from the base of the bridge. So the original bridge base went down 26 more feet to the original lake bed, but the silt has built up that much since 1924. So this is Bryant's camp. It's Bryant's camp boat ramp, and a buddy of mine, Jace, just bought this not too long ago, a couple months ago actually, and he's restoring the houses that you see on the right. They're little rental houses or weekend houses. And there's a restaurant there across the parking lot and some bathrooms, and he's just planning on fixing all that up. Right now though, you can see all that silt built up. He's taking the dirt off and he'll be selling the topsoil. I think he's extending his land as well to kind of make a bridge. But pretty neat deal. The warehouse is up there, he owns as well. That came with the deal. There was boats all stacked up, fiberglass boats all stacked up behind it. He has brought the excavator in and he started smashing them down and cleaning that all up. He doesn't own all the junk to the left of that little road that goes behind his warehouses. That's somebody else's. So, but he's really cleaning it up. And as you can see, they're pulling that silt out there, and he's going to put a marina down there. But he needs to get that dirt down 12 feet below summer pool. What a great opportunity though, them bringing the dam down for him to be able to do this, especially when he just bought it. So really neat place. It's the widest boat ramp on our lake. So looking at it now, I would live down the lake to the left, and then the big lake is on around to the right.